everyone! Today I'm making another video about inflation.
Imagination.
Okay, it's not that exciting, but I just wanted to talk about some of the cultural things that go on with living in a climate of inflation of around 40%, which is a lot. This means that the prices will change every 3 weeks or a month, like every month. You just generally expect that everything will cost more, like the price will have changed. So, the first experience that I had was when I first got here and I was shopping in a veggie shop, and I think the price came out to like 102 pesos or something like that. So I went to pay and I had a 100 peso bill, and then I was looking for some other bills, and then they were like, nah, just don't worry about it, like next time you'll get it back to us. And I was like, what? You don't want it? You don't want the money? You don't? And they're like, no, it's fine. I was like, oh, okay. And I found like another bill, and I think it was like a 50 or another 100, and they were just like, no, it's like not a big deal, because for them it's a bigger deal. It's more costly to give you the change for the bigger bill than it is to just let you go with like a 2 peso extra, like less cost. So that really was interesting to me. And then I noticed everywhere that in the supermarkets there are signs that say, like, if the grocery store isn't able to give you the change that you need, that you get the benefit. So if there is something that usually you will either be giving the store 1 peso extra, or the store will be giving you within the range of 1 peso extra. So it'll never be that you pay exactly the amount. Which leads me to my next topic. Everywhere you go, it's important that you make the exact change. So most of the places accept cash only, and you'll go and you have your bills, and then you look through what you have to make the change, and everyone's like, well, if you give me that 100, and then if you give me 20, then I can give you 50 back. And then you always try to sort of come to terms with making the right amount of change, because you might go somewhere and then they just simply don't have the bills or the coins to give you the change, so you kind of have to cooperate. Which is interesting, because when I went back to the US, or I went to different countries, I kind of already had this mindset ingrained, and I went to pay and I was trying to make the exact change, and they were looking at me like, you're taking way too much time. Like, you just need to give us the big dollar bill and then we'll give you back the change. But I was trying to really like get exactly. There's no point. Why would you do that in a different place if you hadn't had the experience of like understanding what it means to make the exchange and then try to cooperate. So another thing is that the products in the grocery stores will kind of change all the time, and the prices of those products do not determine the quality of those products. So if you're looking at 4 different brands of dulce de leche in the store, dulce de leche for 1 week, one of those dulce de leches might be way more expensive than the others, and you're just like, why is that way more expensive? Well, if you think about it with like a other country mentality, you think, well, the price is more expensive because it means that the product has more quality, or it's more rare, or it's better to find. It's just better because it's more expensive. But actually here that doesn't apply. So if it's way more money than the other options that are available, it just might mean that the price had just recently been updated, and those other options were not updated. So you kind of just pick the cheapest thing, because the prices here don't mean quality, they don't mean anything. So and with that in mind, a lot of products become unavailable or available at different moments. Sometimes because the business goes out of business, or another time because it becomes profitable for that product to appear again, or who knows the reasons, but you cannot rely on the price at all to determine anything. So if you pay for general services, like, I don't know, if you take classes, if you want to take language classes or take yoga classes or something, you kind of just naturally assume that what you pay for 1 month is not going to stay the same the next month. So the next month you just know that, oh, it's just going to be more expensive. And you just have to be okay with that. You just have to accept that the price will always go up and it will always change. It doesn't mean anything. So you kind of you come to terms with the fact that the experience and the value in something is how much you enjoy it and how much you appreciate it, and you don't necessarily, there's no focus on the price of things. The price of things doesn't really mean anything. So with prices always changing and everyone assuming that the prices will always change, kind of generates this other kind of idea about money and the cost of things. It becomes less important because if it's constantly changing, you kind of realize it doesn't matter, it doesn't mean anything, like, prices will change all the time. Which is really strange if you come from a place where the price of a hamburger is always $1 and it will always be $1, and this stays that way for a very, very long time, 40 years. What happens is the prices of rent will always go up. If you have an apartment, the expenses of that apartment will always increase every month. And a lot of things are kind of tied to what their cost is in dollars. So sometimes you'll pay rent and it's based on like the dollar exchange rate. So the equivalent of $500 is this amount in pesos, and so you will always pay a different amount in pesos every month, but it will be tied to this sort of value of the dollar. That's all that I have for today. I hope that this video helps you, and I hope that you find it interesting. If there's anything else that you would like to if there's anything else that you would like more information about, I can dive into those topics. Just let me know. Okay, bye!